Happy Patch 5 everyone. Larian just dropped a big boy of a patch that addresses issues regarding crash fixes, blockers, combat imbalances, gameplay, flow, etc. I'll be including the patch notes in the description below if you want to have a look of what the patch has in store. But for today, we will be talking about the mode that was included in this patch, which is the highly anticipated Honor mode. Honor mode was already hinted in a GOG achievement months ago, and it was also included in Divinity Original Sin 2. So there's a high probability that it will be added in the game. For all the people who don't know, Honor mode is basically a tactician mode on steroids, with the added tactician difficulty together with other tweaks the developer included, like legendary resistances, bonus actions for enemies, etc. They added around 30 new tweaks to all boss battles and fights in the game, as well as finally disabling saves coming. I know you guys are doing it in the previous modes, but now we only get one save file. While we can still manually save before an event or battle, the game automatically saves whenever we fail a dice roll or whenever a party member dies. And whenever an unfortunate event happens that all your member dies, it is game over. It's fun, right? But not to worry, you can still play your unhonorable saves in a custom game mode, which is sweet. So for today's video, I'll be guiding you to the best team composition that will easily get you through this brutal mode. We will be picking from the best builds for each of the 4-man team members to really optimize your party. I will be including class synergy and roles with item allocations. We're gonna be starting with our Frontliner tank, which is an obvious choice for me. That is the Corrupted Guardian build. With levels in 5 Cleric, 3 Wizard, 4 Fighter, this build is just a total beast. Can literally do anything from rendering your enemies practically useless with its radiating orb and acid debuffs, to the amount of AoE, melee, damage over time that you can provide in a single turn is just insane. Not to mention it can also heal when needed. This is the ultimate frontliner. With its high initiative, it can easily be top priority and position itself to its advantage, prepping the battlefield to its favor. The build comes online really early at level 5 and gets ridiculously strong as you progress, so you're guaranteed a really solid tank. Next up is the Striker. The Striker for me needs to be a really mobile character that can dish out just pure damage to enemies and able to dispatch bosses in a single turn. Can eliminate groups of enemies when it's time to shine. There are a lot of builds that I would consider here, but there is only one that stood out as a real monster. That is the Monk Destroyer build, levels in 6 Monk, 2 Druid, 4 Rogue. This monster has so much necrotic damage and can attack 10 to 12 times in a turn, move from target to target with its high mobility, as well as the CC capabilities with Fury of Blows is just amazing. This build can dispatch enemies in a single turn or make top priority enemies a literal punching bag until they turn into paste. The build circulates around moving into a target to target, dishing out as much damage as you can, and running out of the battlefield while your tank will take aggro. I highly advise you go with the Destroyer build if you want a really solid striker. Third is our utility and DPS. This will be our lockpicking, stealing, scouting, infiltrating character that can provide amazing DPS while being the Swiss Army knife of the party. This is also an obvious choice for me, as it is one of my favorite builds and the most unfair class ever, which is the Shadow Hunter build. This is the stealth archer that utilizes darkness, dispatches enemies without them even noticing. It is built around 4 Rogue, 3 Warlock, 5 Ranger. This ultimate stealth archer can dispatch groups of enemies while being totally undetectable, while exploiting the last scene mechanics of the game. It can lockpick, steal, and all your rogue needs, while being a total menace in the battlefield, rendering enemies to waste actions just to locate the sneaky boy. This build works really well with the other members of your party as you don't need to worry in keeping this monster safe. Just let the sneaky archer do its thing while you keep on obliterating your opponents. And finally, our last and certainly not the least party member of our amazing squad. This party member will round out our team and provide as much utility as possible, which is the Enchantress build, with levels in 1 Cleric, 2 Wizard, and 9 Sorcerer. This is the dedicated support character that will be the soul of your party. The Enchanter is the control god of your team that is able to CC groups of enemies in a single turn and can also CC bosses with high success rates. No matter how powerful the enemies may be, if they can't move or do anything, it's practically useless. We already have the best damage dealers with our Striker, Frontliner, and our utility DPS. With this Enchanter, we can bring out the maximum potential of these 3 characters. Alright guys, just want to have this chance to give you an update on the Enchantress build if ever you decide to use the Enchantress in your Honor mode playthrough. The build is practically the same. The only difference is that the ability points allocation. So we're just prioritizing on our Charisma more instead of Wisdom. So we're just going to be putting more points in Charisma, that is 17. Wisdom is going to be second priority because most of our spells are enchantment spells and require wisdom saving throws so that the enemies won't get out of our CC. That's why we're prioritizing wisdom for second. Third is going to be constitution for those constitution saving throws, and this will prevent CC break whenever we are hit by enemies, but most likely we're going to be using sanctuary so that enemies can't target us. For just this reason, we're just going to be putting some points in constitution, that is 14. And finally, for dexterity, that is going to be affecting our initiative in AC. For the feats, we're just going to still be focusing on the Warcaster. This will provide us with advantages in saving throws and also maintaining our concentration spell. For the final feat that you will be needing is the ability improvement to round out our wisdom and charisma. Now for the item allocations, as we just have a few small overlaps with the other builds, starting with the Amulet of the Greater Health, which benefits the Striker and the tank. Top priority will go with the tank for the HP and Constitution saving throws. You can replace the Amulet for the Striker with the Khaled's Gift that will provide aid spell if you decide to give the amulet to your tank. Add the Callous Glow Ring to the Striker for additional radiant damage. You can also replace the Gauntlet of Hill Giant for the Gloves of the Soul Catching if you want to get force damage in your DPS, but I highly advise you stick with the Gauntlets as the necrotic damage is already insane on the Striker. With all that, I guarantee you guys are gonna be having fun with our Honor mode. And that's it for the 4 party members that you will be needing for Honor mode for that easy achievement to get. And just a heads up, after you finish Honor mode, you will be getting additional dice, customizations if ever you want. But the greatest achievement here is for you to getting that title and finishing Honor mode in your playthrough. But yeah, that's it guys. Thank you for watching the show. What do you guys think about the 4 builds that I mentioned? I'll be putting the links of the 4 builds that I mentioned down below in the description so you guys can easily locate and check it out for yourself. And I'm really curious to know what are the 4 builds that you will be taking to your Honor mode play, as well as your questions or any clarifications that you prefer down in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like button if you guys like the video. It really lets me know that you guys are enjoying the builds in the series. Shout out to all the people who subscribe and keep supporting the channel. I really appreciate you guys for all your amazing support. And for all the people who haven't subscribed yet, I hope I earn your subscription in the future. But if I earn it today, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out a lot. And I almost forgot guys, please consider hitting that join button to be part of our D20 Rollers Club. It directly supports me in what I do in the show. I also activated my Patreon if you want to go that route. It also directly helps me out, and thank you so much guys for watching the video. Finally, that's it for me. I hope to see you soon on the next Master Box Show. Peace out. Bye guys.